Last week, a C-tier tournament went down in Mexico with over 100 entrants, and it took place in a Hooters. Hooters Ultimate Tournament went down in Mexico last week, classified as a C-tier and drawing out multiple Mexican top talents. Today we'll be going over the top 5 things you need to know from the Hooters Ultimate Tournament. Just a reminder that if you want to support me monetarily, links to my Patreon and channel memberships are in the description. Also, just to let you guys know, I am working off of pretty limited VODs today, so just keep that in mind. Without further ado, let's get started. Coming in at our number 5 spot is both of our 5th place finishers, MK Big Boss and Nair. MK Big Boss and Nair are two of the most underrated top Mexican talents who both placed 5th at Hooters Ultimate Tournament. MK Big Boss swept the majority of his bracket, notably defeating the 7th place finisher Zach9999. However, right afterwards, MK Big Boss lost to Chag in winners semis in a 3-1, before dropping down and losing to Mao in a game 5 for a final placement of 5th. Nair's bracket consisted of winning their first 3 sets before losing to Chag in winners quarters, dropping down into losers where Nair defeated Javi and then Zach9999 in losers 8s, before losing to Meister 3-1 for a final placement of 5th.
El buen Chag va para arriba, sí, por supuesto con el lambi. Cuidadito, el back, sí, back throw por back. No.
Coming in at our number 4 spot is Mao, our 4th place finisher and the player we're covering today with the best SPR, placing 4th as the 7th seed, and the best losers run we're covering today in terms of length. Mao started off the tourney by winning their first 2 sets before losing their third to Zach9999, our 7th place finisher. Being sent to losers pretty early, Mao started off by beating Swain 2-0, and then moving on to defeat Bro 2-0, Law 2-1, and then Elin 3-0 in losers 8s. It was here that Mao got their best upset of the tournament, defeating MK Big Boss in a game 5 set, going up into losers 8s where Mao would lose to Meister in a 3-0 for a final placement of 4th as the 7th seed after a 5-set losers run.
La verdad es peligrosísimo, pero no va a ser suficiente. Ahí Franklin le va a alcanzar para sacar a Ryu de la plataforma. Te digo, por eso Oro no la usa, güey, porque es trampa, güey.
Coming in at our number 3 spot is Chag, who is our 3rd place finisher and who is so back. Chag started off the weekend by sweeping his way through his first 3 sets, notably being taken to a game 3 by Oski. After this, in winners quarters, Chag defeated Nair like we discussed, as well as defeating MK Big Boss in winners semis like we also mentioned earlier. However, Chag would then lose in a game 5 set to Gyerhyu in winners finals, dropping down into losers finals where Chag lost to Meister 3-1 for a final placement of 3rd.
Nada paciencia de Chag, vuelve Big Boss, pero ya esto se ve como una cacería que va a cerrar con ese upper. Chag va a mantener.
Coming in at our number 2 spot is Gyerhyu's hard-fought winners run. The first half of Gyerhyu's winners run was an absolute sweep, making winners side top 8 without dropping a single game, and notably defeating our other 7th place finisher Elin on the way. It was here though that Gyerhyu got their best win of the tournament, defeating Meister in an insanely close game 5 set. After this, Gyerhyu proceeded to defeat Chag in another close game 5 set to make grand finals winner's side.
Con un backer cerca del stand.
Ahí está la pata.
¡Adiós!
¡Se lo va a llevar!
Reverse trio calls para ganar y llegar a la gran final del lado de ganadores.
Pop-off de parte de Gyerhyu, vaya lo que está jugando el tabula.
And coming in at our number 1 spot is Meister's Run Back Redemption. Meister's run at Hooters Ultimate Tournament started off well, making winner's side top 8 with no games dropped, his set against M, the Sonic, being notably streamed. It was here that Meister lost in winners semis to Gyerhyu, which we mentioned earlier. Now in losers, Meister first defeated Nair in losers quarters in a 3-1, next defeating Mao in losers semis in a 3-0, and lastly Meister defeated Chag in a 3-1 in order to make grand finals losers side. Here, Meister won against Gyerhyu in a 3-1 in both grands and the reset, becoming your champion of Hooters Ultimate Tournament.
Anunciadísimo, salvo que lo saques de inmediato, ¿no? O sea, lo mejor para Gyerhyu es sacar el shuriken sin carga, pero vaya, aquí cayó en la carga, pero del Up Smash 3 stock y Meister recibió como 7 golpes en todo ese encuentro.
Muy sólido,
That's going to be it for today's video. Before I go, shout out to my patrons, Seth Lasser and FrogSkull333, and my YouTube members, Stormtrooper, Loco Soko, Mattoon, Roropoke, Chavo, DTR Jr., and my tier 2 members, Mike G and Andy K. Additionally, shout out gifted members Dane H, Zesta, Jake M, Renzuke, Interesting YouTube Observer, Undutiful86, Neo, Renario, Uwu, Sal, Sarix, Anna S, Call the Pebble, Elib918, Spooks Little Devil, HSF, The Seraph, Hans, Dian Saicho, Knuckles the Kid, and Otaku. Tomorrow I'm going to be making another episode of my Guessing Matchup Charts series, but until then, I've been RisterMice, and thank you all so much for watching.